Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about what happens when Hollywood gets it right. Ghostbusters Afterlife got it right, in our opinion. We know some people didn't like it.
And that's okay.
That's fine. But a lot of people did like it. It's doing much better at the box office than people predicted it would do. And it seems like a lot of the media outlets were caught off guard. In fact, I saw this article yesterday on Bloody Disgusting that they were disgusted that the media was actively rooting for this movie to fail.
Oh yeah, we saw it time and time again.
They were rooting for it to fail because they didn't like the idea that it overwrote 2016. Never mind that your 2016 movie still exists. You can watch it whenever you want to.
And when we would get upset about things, they would redo. That's what they said to us. Well, you're still just go watch it.
Yeah, just go watch it.
Fine, then go watch it.
Go watch your original trilogy, Star Wars. So anyway, it's doing pretty well. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how it almost beat Encanto, Disney's Encanto, in its second week. And Encanto actually did not do very well for a Disney movie, I think, because they've been dumping most of their animated movies on the Disney Plus.
And I don't know if it's true or not, but I thought I heard that they were going to put Encanto on Disney Plus like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't looked into it enough, but I heard that. And if it is, I'm like, why do people waste time going to the theater then? But again, I don't know if that's true. I have to look into it.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how Jason Reitman just got a fat movie deal from Sony, likely because of the success of Afterlife. We're going to talk about how the media now is saying that Afterlife is going to make new diverse fans for the Ghostbusters franchise. Imagine that.
Yeah, when you do diversity and you do it right, it works. I wonder who's been trying to tell Hollywood this for years.
And we're also going to talk about how difficult it is to find Afterlife toys.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't think anybody expected Afterlife to do as well as it did. Now, they better get while the getting's good because Spider-Man's coming and that's going to
we're going to do another video on that. Spider-Man's going to destroy everything in its path.
Yeah.
Before we get into it any further, I want to mention this and then you can do your spiel. We have the books. I'm only mentioning it today as last time because through December 1st today, if you order books 1 and 2, you get a free 5-print pack with it. They're just random prints, and we will send it out to you.
Kind of our Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. Now, these are hardcover collections. They're 160 pages each. It's the first 10 chapters of the webcomic version of Shadowbinders. There is new Shadowbinders coming, hopefully this year. Brand new material.
I mean, next year.
Next year. This year? Next year.
Next year.
Whatever year we're on. I don't know anymore. The pandemic, I don't know.
We're hoping for another prequel book coming too. But that's neither here nor there. Today's last day, December 1st. Midnight Eastern Standard Time is when the cutoff is. So if you would like them, you need to order them now for the free prints.
Yeah, and they will get there in time for Christmas. Unless you're out of the country, then I can't make any guarantees.
Right.
We do have them in stock. So
we'll do it everything we can on our end. But anyway, before we get into it any further,
please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 243,000.
Woo!
I think. Getting to 250. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And again, check this out at shopclownfish.com. I'll put a link in the comments. Let's talk about this article. I thought this was great because it's not just us. It's not just the YouTubers that are saying this. This is coming from one of the co-founders of Bloody Disgusting, talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife nearly capturing the top spot in the second week. And it did. Encanto made $27 million. Ghostbusters Afterlife made $24 million.
Encanto was its opening.
Yeah.
And they were going on about Encanto, but that was for a 5-day opening. And then Afterlife made that much, probably for it was only for a couple days in that. So about the same in the same amount of time for the weekend.
Yeah, so that's actually really good. Now, Resident Evil bombed big time. I forgot there even was another Resident Evil coming out. People said it was garbage. I don't think any of the Resident Evil movies have been good. But this one's particularly bad, and it only made $5 million. Wow, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So Raccoon City weekend debut. That's putting it mildly. So this I thought was really interesting. Right out of the gate. I find it incredibly gross when a professional in the industry hopes that a film will fail.
I agree.
I saw a lot of this leading up to the release of Ghostbusters Afterlife, with many declaring the fourth film in the franchise a bust after its initial box office projections.
Yes, I want to say something real quick here about rooting for professionals, rooting for things to fail. What made me really upset was the whole debacle with Captain Marvel and Alita.
Yeah, it was the same
and I've
thing.
mentioned this many times, but it was like you had the White Knight for Captain Marvel, but you were trying to get Alita the tank, and it didn't make any sense to me. And they were finding these nebulous, stupid reasons to get mad about it. Because, like, I was like, hey, we got 2 strong female leads in the box office. One of them is a diverse female lead. This is a win for women. Why the flip would you want one to fail?
Yeah, it was a weird scenario. And again, Captain Marvel, we had a blonde white woman in the lead, and in Alita, we had a Latina woman in the lead.
And I just thought it was a win. And if you really, believed in what you scream about all the time, that you would see the hypocrisy in that. But yeah, that this whole idea that we see this happen all the time.
Well, even with Afterlife, it was like, oh, the man babies didn't like women in their Ghostbusters movie. I'm like, who's the lead character?
And they didn't like, they were racist because they didn't like the 2016. It's like,
this was more diverse.
Yes. I know, right? It didn't make any sense.
We had one token black person in 2016. And
in the same position as the originals.
Yeah, and this one we actually had a much more diverse cast. Just saying. Too bad for them, because it not only exceeded expectations, but nearly surpassed that of its predecessor in like 2 weeks. However, the big difference between the two films are the reported budgets, with the Paul Feig-directed reboot topping $140 million, and Afterlife allegedly in the $70 to $80 million range. I always celebrate a studio's ability to show restraint.
Yeah, I agree, because sometimes what money they spend on some of these movies, I'm just like, holy crap.
After blasting the competition in its opening weekend, Ghostbusters Afterlife nearly captured the top spot at the box office this holiday weekend. Yeah, it was $3 million, just losing out to Disney's Encanto. Over the 3-day weekend, Afterlife pulled in an estimated $24.5 million, with the 5-day totaling $35.25 million. As of this writing, it added another $28 million internationally for a global total of $150 million.
Well, I know a lot of people are going to see it multiple times as well. I know as soon as it comes to the local theater, I think we'll probably go again.
When Hollywood gets it right, when publishers get it right, when game companies get it right, and this is the thing, because people always complain about, we don't like this, we don't like that. Fine, don't buy that. Don't go see that, whatever. I'm not calling for a boycott. I'm just saying don't spend your money on things you don't enjoy. But when they get it right, you absolutely should support them. Absolutely. In the case of Ghostbusters, like, we bought the toys. We'll go see the movie again.
And we were really afraid it was going to suck. And if it would have sucked, we would have said so. So it didn't. It was good. So there you go.
Yeah, so based on the first 2-week numbers, Ghostbusters Afterlife will undoubtedly cross $150 million and could even hit $200 million. Plus, 2016 was able to muster up $216 million.
That's total.
But with the massive $144 million budget, it lost money in its theatrical run. Because of the budget, Afterlife is a hit and should open the door for more busting. And it already, I think, is going to, because Sony just signed a deal with Jason Reitman. Now, this doesn't mean he's going to be doing a bunch of Ghostbusters movies, but apparently it shows that they have faith in him to deliver.
And he said he'd like to see some other people do some Ghostbusters movies, which could go either very well or very poorly. It depends on, what mandates and restraints they put in there. But, he's more than willing to work with somebody else and have them, do some movies as well.
Yeah, so this is actually pretty exciting. I thought Afterlife was good.
It was really good.
And we saw I think these two were behind that snowman short.
That was awful.
That was a gut punch.
It was an apple. They ran it on Thanksgiving.
Simon, Saving Simon.
It was about the snowman. So there's this commercial. They were running on Thanksgiving, and it was an Apple commercial because the whole thing was filmed on Apple phones or whatever. And it's this girl, and they built a snowman, and she keeps it all year in the freezer. When they go camping, she takes it with her on the cooler, and she's trying to save the snowman. And then finally it becomes winter again, and she takes it outside to put him back in the snow. And then some kid runs him over with a bicycle.
Yeah.
And then they have to build a new one. Well, I mean, it's a commercial. They're going to see it. I mean, it's a short film, but they made it into a commercial. It's really, you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, so they signed these two, and I think it's because of Afterlife obviously doing much, much better than people predicted. The media tried to say that Afterlife was only going to do like $30 million opening weekend. And here we are in the second weekend. Now, again, if it were a Marvel movie, it'd be like, ooh, that's not great.
In perspective. You have the apples to apples here.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking a relatively low budget, kind of like the first Ghostbusters. The first Ghostbusters was definitely done on a shoestring compared to The sequel, and definitely 2016. 2016 was expensive.
Now, Spider-Man's going to come in and kick everybody's ass. I mean, there's no question. It's going to destroy everyone. But that's also partly Sony. So was Venom.
Yeah, so Sony seems to be doing pretty good. Now, apparently, they had some other movies they released that did not do so well, but can't all be winners. I mean, they killed with Venom. I mean, Venom 2 did much better.
That's another one people didn't think it was going to do that great, and then it did really, really well. And then the media was kind of like, about it too. So, you know. Now, did you want to read any more of this before we go into something else?
Yeah. Yes, this is coming from Variety. Fresh off the box office success of Ghostbusters Afterlife, Sony Pictures Entertainment has signed an overall producing deal with Jason Reitman and Gil Keenan. I think it's Keenan, the team behind the Paranormal reboot. The movie has grossed $115 million globally since it opened 2 weeks ago and helped find a fresh way into a franchise that first launched in '84. A previous attempt to revive the series in 2016, which found Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones donning proton packs, failed to turn a profit because it cost $144 million.
Notice how they say it's because of that. They didn't blame it on the toxic fans.
No, they're basically
this is Variety.
Yeah, Variety.
Well, wait, there's still more article. Usually they wait till the last paragraph, and then it's something about Trump and toxic fandoms in a lot of these blogs.
But wait, there's more. They're just talking the numbers, right? Afterlife was made more economically, carrying a $75 million budget. And this is probably why it was set in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. But it worked.
It did work.
It really worked.
It worked for the story, and yeah, I mean, it did work. So this is what Sony had to say. Jason's the thing you dream about. A world-class signature storyteller, visionary filmmaker, and dream-producing partner, said Sanford Pinich, president of Sony Pictures Motion Picture.
Yeah, you're right the first time.
Sony Pictures Motion Picture Group for people who have pictures about Sony.
SPMPG. Simping.
Simping. Jason and Gil, as co-writing partners, have a remarkable understanding of commercial quality cinema.
Yeah, people are
commercial quality cinema. This is a backhand slap.
Oh my god!
They are bitch slapping Paul Feig. They're just not.
This is funny.
We're thrilled about the upcoming pipeline from these guys. We're excited to have evolved our storytelling partnership into a full-fledged production company, and could be more proud to have a home at Sony Pictures, the studio most committed to the theatrical movie-going experience. So Reitman worked on Juno. We knew that. His dad, of course, Ghostbusters 1 and 2. It's interesting. I didn't know that Keenan was the director of Monster House.
Our daughter's been watching that a lot lately.
I freaking love Monster House. I had no idea.
City of Ember, Poltergeist, and A Boy Called Christmas.
I've never seen A Boy Called Christmas. City of Ember was dystopian.
Hear the books were better. I didn't read them. Actually, Squid King did. Ask him.
That is like every YA series ever, right? The books were better. So anyway, this movie managed to do what 2016 couldn't do, and that is kick up new Ghostbusters fans.
Yes. Now, I'm going to talk about something for a second. Because I do, at the holiday season, I try to help people in need. And one of the kids that we had gotten really wanted Ghostbusters Afterlife toys. Well, you know how hard it is to find Ghostbusters Afterlife toys of the kids? Pretty hard, actually, as it turns out. I got Ecto-1, no problem, but like Muncher and like the kid figures and stuff, they're not easy to get. Now, they're going to be a lot of them released, more released in January.
Yeah.
They're probably on a ship somewhere, who knows? But you can get them if you pre-order them now for January, but it doesn't help with kids for this Christmas. I did manage to find a couple things, but it's actually hard to find because people are buying this shit up.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I still haven't seen the kid Freight Features toys in the wild. I mean, we have
I've never seen them, no.
Yeah, we have the original Ghostbusters. We got the 4 of them, and I did the review on the other channel of the Ecto-1 and the figures, but
I know when we find them, we'll be grabbing them for you too.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the studio ones, the
plasma ones.
Yeah.
You can find. I found a couple of those, but I have not seen the Freight Feature ones. There's going to be a much bigger supply of them in the new year, but it doesn't help for the holiday season.
I have to wonder. There's a couple things going on here. One, thinking back to 2016. Right, a lot of those figures you can still find them at Ollie's and Five Below.
Yeah,
they're on clearance. They didn't sell. So
some of them are Melissa McCarthy for whatever reason.
Yeah, right. She's warming the shelves next to the Rose Tico figures.
Yeah,
but I have to think that Hasbro probably took a look at that and they were like, yeah, we don't know how this movie's gonna do. We know that the classic characters Peter Venkman, Spengler, and they're going to sell. The Ecto-1's going to sell, but we don't know how these new characters are going to sell. So it almost feels like they didn't make enough of them.
Oh, they didn't. But you can get all kinds of the Fright features with the original cast. They're all over the place, but you can't find the kids.
Yeah, and it seems like Phoebe is like the most requested. Because all the toxic man babies just hate female leads in their Ghostbusters
That's right.
movies.
That's right. But I'm just saying, you can't find the toys. Like you said, I do think it's because they didn't make as many, because they didn't know how it was going to go, and they're making more. But there's obviously a demand for this.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, and this is interesting. So a lot of these outlets, now it wasn't NPR so much, but, we had a lot of, the Polygons and the Vices and the Guardians all being like, oh my God, the toxic men didn't want the women in their Ghostbusters. They didn't want diversity in their Ghostbusters.
right. You're racist, you're a misogynist, you don't like women or, people that are diverse, even though
Yeah.
this was more so than the other one.
So then it went from that to like, oh my God, how could Sony just pander to these man babies and overwrite 2016?
I love it. Oh, and it's just made for fans. And it's just like a copy of the other movies, but that isn't true. 2016 was more direct copy.
2016 was almost a beat for beat remake of 84. Just a really bad, bad remake of 84, parody of 84. But it's interesting. You go all the way down the bottom. This article talks about how this movie is making new, diverse Ghostbusters fans. This is what they wanted to do with 2016, and they failed because the movie didn't do very well.
It was a stupid movie.
It was a stupid movie. With Afterlife, the Ghostbusters return to canon and score big, and they talked about how it's bringing everybody out, multiple generations. My 2 daughters went with us on opening night, and honestly, it's renewed their interest in Ghostbusters, which has been great to see. It's almost like Ghostbusters Afterlife is good for old fans and new fans alike. This other guy said he enjoyed the latest installment in the franchise about as much as possible. I think it had a job it was hired to do, and it did it without destroying too much in the process, which is the most appropriate thing you can say about a Ghostbusters
He's one of the people that were like, why do we need more Ghostbusters? Which a lot of fans were like that, and then they did 2016 anyway.
Here's Mayette Eggleston, who coordinated the work for the Fort Collins Ghostbusters group. She said she saw the 84 classic as a teenager in the Philippines. She was excited for Afterlife and didn't want to be spoiled, so she actually avoided all the trailers. But this is interesting. This is how they end it. NPR. Despite the wait, including a year-plus pandemic delay for the film's release, Eggleston also really loved Ghostbusters Afterlife. She said the film's ties to the original and new characters like Phoebe are getting many fans on board with a more inclusive franchise. For Eggleston and others, it's clear there's room in many fans' hearts for a whole new kind of Ghostbuster. It's opening a path for the younger generation, she said, to become Ghostbusters and continue on with the legacy. And they are. I mean, kids are asking for Ghostbusters toys.
Yep, 100%. And I just think it's cool because, they have these kids, and like Phoebe obviously is like, I think she's on the spectrum. And so it's like kids that normally don't get representation or get representation. I just think it's really awesome. And I don't know why, people would hate on it for saying that if you like this one, then you hate women or diversity, because that is the antithesis of what it is. And the thing is, they just did diversity in a way that is organic and fun, and it's not shoved in your face. It wasn't like, did I mention because she's a girl? Did we mention because she's a woman? Did we mention? It wasn't like that.
Yeah, and I think it's great to see. Sony obviously has taken notice. I'm afraid 2016 is yesterday's news, but again, like you told us, you can go back, watch it on Blu-ray.
Right, and if you like it, you are allowed to like it. I actually know people who like it. And that's okay. I have family members who like it, and that is okay. They're allowed to like it. My God, you can like it. But people are allowed to not like it. People are allowed to like Afterlife. People are allowed to not like Afterlife. It's okay. But what we did see is people are starting to come back to Ghostbusters because of Afterlife.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get more good Ghostbusters. We'll get more good sequels, respectful sequels and reboots. And this is what Hollywood needs to do. This is how they need to do it. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.